You need 16 wins to hoist the Stanley Cup, and last night the New York Rangers got number 9. King Henrik posting the 21-save shutout for the 3-0 victory. And he was one of a few players you could choose to highlight from this game. Dan Girardi with a solid game overall, a goal and an assist, blocking some shots, but he also had a few gaffes. Martin Brodeur, 40 years old and still kicking, keeping the Devils in this one. Look at this ridiculous third period save.
Here's Mark Stahl, who's up on the rush. Battles with two Devils, back to the blue line. Girardi's back and he takes the shot. Oh, Brodeur makes a terrific save. A great save on Mark Stahl after the shot by Dan Girardi.
A 40-year-old's not supposed to be making those. Nobody's supposed to be making those. There's also young defenseman Ryan McDonagh not looking out of place at all in these playoffs, playing 24.5 minutes. Hey, remember when Ryan McDonagh was with the Habs? And on that note, remember when Mikhail Grabowski was also with the Habs? Instead of Scott Gomez, Greg Petterin, and not Robert Lang? Anyway, I'm getting my red, white, and blue teams mixed up. For me, the guy who stole all the headlines, he did on Twitter anyway, rookie Chris Kreider. In fact, there was a hashtag last night, NHL headlines. It was pretty much all Kreider. Pension Plan Puppets came up with Cried and True. Our Fancy 3 came up with the Rough Kreiders anthem. Is DMX a Rangers fan? And of course, the M. Kreider State Building. Shameless self-promotion, I came up with that one. But Kreider had a very effective game. On the first goal, takes advantage of veteran Bryce Salvador's misstep, and then muscles off veteran Meredith Zlitsky. Dishes off to Girardi, blast, that's a goal. Kreider's involvement probably more impressive than the goal he actually scored himself. Simple wrister beats Martin Brodeur, but it doesn't matter because the first one was the winner. By the way, Brodeur drafted in the 1990 NHL entry draft. Chris Kreider, born April 30th, 1991. Bit of an age gap, a little bit. But what an addition by the Rangers to be able to get Kreider so late in the season, during a playoffs where, frankly, not every late addition was able to help their team. Jakob Silfverberg wasn't able to do much for Ottawa. Andrei Kostitsyn and Alex Radulov, that got kind of ugly. Kreider, one of 7 Rangers with at least 3 goals in these playoffs. Good Canadian boy! For Massachusetts. Now on to tonight, Game 2 between the Coyotes and Kings in Phoenix. Kings up 1-0. And I'll leave you with this final thought. If the Kings manage to beat the Coyotes tonight, there is a possibility that that is the last home game the Coyotes will ever play in Glendale.